All right, hi girls, and one boy, Ayan, that I see. No, Hadi is here as well. Two boys. Good to see you, everybody. This is a follow-up session from the BMC that we started off last week with a lot of technical difficulties. So hopefully, inshallah, आज हमें ज़्यादा problems नहीं होंगे. But we are going to cover the business blueprint, the business model canvas, and then for the YEM fellows who are here, we'll give them their task for the finale, which is quickly approaching, in which we want you to start thinking about, you're already thinking about your ideas, but just taking that idea and putting it into action is what the final task is going to be. Alina here is already looking through your portfolios, through your wonderful I think submissions of work. Me and Zainab, we keep discussing that this is by far um, the best yam lot that has happened. इतने अच्छी आप लोगों की वो आ रही है, जो tasks आ रहे हैं, your participation, we're really, really happy. And we hope that, in the future, as we move forward, more of you would come into the driving seat and be the ones who are driving YEM forward for the next upcoming years, months, inshallah. And we can see you in the driving seat, or each one of you. There are more opportunities which I wanted to share you guys, but in good time, inshallah. As they mature, there are wonderful opportunities coming in the tech space, coming in the business space, and in the eco-friendly business space that I'm working on. And as they materialize, they're going to be open for all of you who are in this space, trying to make your own identities and just taking those forward. आज इस सेशन के बाद एक और सेशन है, that's an optional session. It is run by three wonderful girls just like your age groups who are working on their AI friendly startup. So if you want to hop onto that, that's fine too. You can be a silent or an non-silent participant to the Gen AI as well. They're just going to talk about how have they taken their ideas and use technological tools, AI tools, फ्री सोर्स जो होते हैं, ओपन सोर्स जो होते हैं, थोड़ी सी कोडिंग करके उन्होंने अपने आइडियाज को कैसे एक प्लेटफॉर्म में, एक टेक्नोलॉजिकल प्लेटफॉर्म में ट्रांसफर किया है. So those of you who are interested, it will be right after um, this session. There will be a half an hour break in the middle. Alrighty, so coming back to just giving you guys a little bit of a refresher as to what we were discussing last time. Who can tell me how do we read a business model canvas? Where do we start off from? Go ahead, Dua.
We start from the middle value proposition
And why?
because that is the heart of the business. The
Absolutely, right? I'll share a very funny thing with you guys. Thank you so much, Dua. I'll share a very funny thing with you guys that I was in a very elderly group discussion just this week, earlier this week. That was for the Association of Business Mentors. And I was the youngest there. So imagine जो participants थे वो कितने बड़े होंगे, right? Um, so, they showed us the business model and they said, how are you going to mentor startups? And what do you know about the BMC? And what is the value proposition? So I told them exactly this, right? That you start off with a value proposition because I think it's the heart of the business. And it was मैंने तो बोंगी मारी थी अपनी तरफ से. मैंने कहा गोरे पता नहीं क्या समझेंगे कि एशियन आंटी ब्राउन आंटी बोंगियां मारी हैं. But this is that's a really creative way to look at it, because that's essentially is what the business is all about. So देखो validation आ गई. So just thought I'd share this funny thing with you guys. So absolutely. So value proposition. The only difficult thing about when you're writing your value proposition is it has to be one sentence, right? And who was I doing that with yesterday? Chahat, it was you in the Gen AI. So Chahat ने मुझसे कहा कि चाहत क्या कहा था कल, बताओ पहला जो आपने बोला था कि क्या था? I want you to unmute and tell me what did you ask me in the group? कि मैम I want to build a multilingual support, है ना? बोलो।
Opportunities for underserved areas.
वो तो बाद में आया था, right? When we did a little bit of brainstorming. So if you were to repeat and share that sentence with everyone, Chahat, the final one, what was it?
Opportunities for students in underserved areas who really want to find opportunities on an app.
Yeah, good, almost there. Developing a platform to provide opportunities in education or higher education or
Exchange
employment
programs.
or exchange programs for students from underprivileged regions, right?
Rural areas. Yeah.
रूरल एरियाज, अंडर प्रिविलेज रीजन्स। और मैंने कहा था कि रूरल पे सिर्फ फोकस ना करो, वो हो सकता है अंडर प्रिविलेज कहीं भी रहते हो, वो मे बी अर्बन में भी रहते हुए अंडर प्रिविलेज लोग हो सकते हैं। सो वन
Yeah.
सेंटेंस, yeah, it's a difficult task. Thank you, Chahat. One sentence of your USP is the most difficult task, but today हम पूरे ऐसे बिजनेसेस की एग्जांपल्स लेंगे, ऐसे बिजनेसेस को देखेंगे जिनका आप लोग आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे कि what is it that you see from their businesses and what is their value proposition. Then we moved on and we said, where do we go? We either go right or we go left, right? So in our case, we thought that we'd go towards the 3 C's: customer relationships, customer segments, and channels. This is where we were at last week. So we said segments हमें समझ आ गए थे कि हर चीज का एक कस्टमर सेगमेंट ये होता है। जिस तरह हमने किसकी एग्जांपल ली थी, इफ यू गाइस रिमेंबर, वी सेड हाउ इज फूड पांडा मेकिंग मनी, right? Let's do a refresher. How does food panda makes money? Who does it make money from? The person ordering, है ना? जो पर्सन ऑर्डर करता है फूड पांडा से, उससे वो पैसे लेते हैं, which is the consumer, which is all of us, right? Then they make money from
commissions from the shops that publish their menus and everything on their.
Absolutely. So let's look at it visually. Okay. Let's look at visually, because a lot of people say कि food panda का अपना product और अपना business क्या है. So this is food panda. एक customer तो us है, people who are ordering, right? एक customer, like Zainab said, is the food chains, right? Mm, 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 mm. Okay. So another person is the food chains, which could be places like, big places like Domino's हो गया या McDonald's हो गया या जो भी हो गया, वो food chains भी अपनी चीजें वहां पे डालती हैं. And what does Food Panda make? Food Panda makes money on each sale that takes place of that particular food chain. Make sense? Right? How else do they make money? Who can tell me?
I mean, like there was one way. So they put ads on their app. Like when you order now,
Absolutely.
their ads.
Absolutely. Very good, Fatma. Ads से पैसे बनाते हैं, और कैसे बनाते हैं?
By sponsorships.
By sponsorships, yeah. Okay. Let's just put them on ads and sponsorships here. ठीक है. How else?
By
वो
collaboration
collaboration with whom, Dua?
with other business, like people or somewhere.
Okay. Give me an example.
Like personalities, celebrities, maybe, because then people.
But if celebrity is collaborating with them, then they are paying money to the celebrities, no?
Yes, they are paying, but more people are going to be attracted.
Yeah. Eventually more people are coming. बिल्कुल ठीक है, वो भी सही है. So इसको
Maybe
भी इधर ही
startup.
डालते हैं. Sorry,
they pay subscription fees like Panda Pro and stuff?
do they charge a subscription or is it free?
Yeah,
There
like,
is
there
a
is a
subscription that
for
There is a
offers exclusive
subscription?
discounts, etc.
Okay, very good. Subscription. This is a new feature. Subscription. एक एक कस्टमर ग्रुप जो फूड चेन से ही रिलेटेड है जिसको आप लोग मिस कर रहे हो.
Is it
It's
by
not a
like
chain.
Panda Mart? They have their own
Panda
grocery.
Mart, exactly. Very good, Fajr. और भी एक और भी है. और भी बताओ. एक और. Related to food chain, but we don't call it a food chain.
They opened a store, I guess.
Bhumika, okay. Good. Home-based ones, absolutely, Jannat. So home-based, घर का खाना, जो home-based aunties घर में खाना बना रही हैं, right? So home-based से भी वो पैसे कमा रहे हैं. एक और बहुत important stakeholder है जिससे पैसे कमा रहे हैं. Think. What is the biggest dependent of Food Panda to work? Pink t-shirt.
The
The
delivery
Sorry, Zana?
guys.
The delivery guys.
hostels and everything who don't want to cook.
Absolutely, you guys. The rider. Now tell me, how is the rider making money for Food Panda? Do you think Food Panda would be giving the riders salaries? Are they employed by Food Panda or are they self-employed? Let me tell you, right? Let me tell you the market dynamics of this. The rider is a self-employed person. Just like वो घर से जो खाना पका रहे हैं और just like जो food chains वाले लोग हैं, right? जो के पैसे दे रहे हैं Food Panda को, इसी तरह जो rider है, the rider is coming on board essentially as somebody who is self-employed. राइडर अपने आप को करीम या उबर ड्राइवर की तरह फूड पांडा पे रजिस्टर करता है, उसकी ड्यू डिलिजेंस होती है, उसका एनआईसी रखा जाता है, देखा जाता है, बाइक उसकी अपनी है, उससे कागजात लिए जाते हैं, ड्यू डिलिजेंस दे के वो उसको एक आप हैंड ओवर करते हैं, उसकी टी शर्ट, उसकी हेलमेट, जो भी देना है उसका एक बॉक्स. द राइडर एंड्स अप पेइंग दैट एज एन इनिशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट. ओके, एंड पर ऑर्डर the rider makes money. For example, 500 रुपए का ऑर्डर है, 500 में से 300 राइडर को जाता है और 200 किसको जाता है? फूड पांडा को. So the entire ecosystem you see कि इसके अगर आप कस्टमर सेगमेंट्स देखेंगे बीएमसी में, there are so many. There are so many that are hidden. There are so many that are actually which is visible to us. But when we look at these businesses around us, these basic simple businesses, you'd get to know कि यार इतनी simple सा एक business नहीं होता, but everywhere you'd see that people are going to look at कि ये business के अंदर जो customer segments है, हर जगह से वो पैसे कमा रहे हैं, right? So this is the customer segment bit. Now the customer relationship, when we talk about, in that particular whiteboard, you saw that there are 2 to 3 kinds of customer relationships. Okay, so customer relationship is, if Food Panda is in business with the food chain, it is called a B2B, a business to business relationship. है ना? यानी कि business to business. Food Panda ने बिरयानी हट के साथ किया business, तो वो उसका business to business customer relationship है. जो हमारे साथ वो कर रहा है वो बिजनेस टू कस्टमर B2C, राइट? और फिर जो वो राइडर के साथ कर रहा है वो B2B2C, राइट? सो दीज 2-3 काइंड्स ऑफ बिजनेस रिलेशनशिप्स. B2B2C का मतलब है कि बिजनेस राइडर के साथ हुआ, राइट? वो भी एक बिजनेस है अपने एंड में, ही इज ऑल्सो सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयड, और फिर वो राइडर कस्टमर के साथ इन टच है, तो दैट्स अ B2B2C बिजनेस। ठीक है, सो कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप्स फॉर एवरी बिजनेस यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई एंड डिसाइड कि आपने किस तरीके से क्या बिजनेस करना है। लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल, ओके, लेट्स टेक अ केस स्टडी एग्जांपल ऑफ वाबडा या के इलेक्ट्रिक। What kind of a relationship does K Electric have with us? Is it a B2B? Is it a B2C?
B2C.
C.
B2C, Fajar, absolutely. But what if K Electric is giving Bijli to Beria Town and then Beria Town is charging it to the resident?
B2B2C.
B2B2C, absolutely. And what if K Electric is just providing electricity to, let's say, a corporation on a corporate account? एंग्रो को अगर वो बिजली देने एक particular area से,
B2B2B.
B2B? No, just
Okay.
B2B. So it's
Okay.
just between K Electric and Engro on a corporate account. Just think about banks. जो banks भी हमारे साथ काम करते हैं वो एक B2C relationship में करते हैं, राइट? मगर अगर बैंक हम ये कहते हैं कि हमारे पास अकाउंट खुला है, एक बैंक का खुला है, तो हम कहते हैं इट्स अ B2C रिलेशनशिप। बट उसी बैंक का या टेलको कंपनी है, राइट, टेलको कंपनी है और टेलको कंपनी के साथ आप अपना मोबाइल कार्ड लाके उसको चार्ज करते हैं अपने फोन को, दैट्स अ B2C रिलेशनशिप। इफ यू हैव अ टेलेनॉर बैंक अकाउंट, राइट, एंड टेलेनॉर आपके पास टेलेनॉर की सिम है आपके पास और वो एक आपकी B2C रिलेशनशिप है, बट फिर टेलेनॉर कभी कभी आपको मैसेज करके कहते हैं नहीं यार इजी पैसा भी खोल लो, राइट? सो दैट्स अ B2B2C relationship as well, although it could be a B2C as well. So in the business world, essentially, the customer relationships can be really, really complicated. और कारोबार जो अच्छे कारोबार होते हैं वो यही हर वक्त सोचते रहते हैं कि यार इस वेब को मैं किस तरीके से और ज्यादा कॉम्प्लिकेट कर सकता हूँ, या इस जो कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप्स का जो डब्बा है उसमें हम किस तरीके से मोर एंड मोर कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप्स को एंगेज कर सकते हैं। मेरे पास B2B भी चले, मेरा B2C भी चले, मेरा B2B2C भी चले, तो हर किस्म की रिलेशनशिप हम इसमें करते हैं। मूविंग ऑन टू चैनल्स, चैनल्स आर प्रीटी सिंपल, राइट? चैनल्स आर कि मैंने मार्केट कैसे करना है, सिंपल, राइट? बहुत सारी कैंपेन्स, बहुत सारे बिजनेसेस आप देखेंगे कि उनकी कोई वर्चुअल प्रेजेंस नहीं है। फूड पांडा की कोई वर्चुअल प्रेजेंस नहीं है, पार्क व्हील्स की कोई वर्चुअल प्रेजेंस नहीं है, Zameen.com की कोई वर्चुअल प्रेजेंस इन द सेंस के ऑफिस स्पेस है, बट उसमें लोग जाके अब कारोबार शुरू किए हैं, बट व्हेन इट स्टार्टेड ऑफ वो वर्चुअल स्पेस से ही काम करता था, सिर्फ एक ऑनलाइन मार्केट प्लेस है। दराज की कोई आउटलेट है? नहीं, राइट? इट्स जस्ट ऑपरेटिंग ऑन अ वर्चुअल स्पेस। तो उसका जो चैनल है उसकी वेबसाइट है, उसका ई कॉमर्स पेज है। इसी तरह यू लुक अराउंड एंड you'll see that a lot of brands that we interact with on a daily basis, they do not have a physical space and they're working perfectly well. And I'll show you some examples right after we are done with the BMC, and you guys will look at Pakistani examples के उनमें से किस तरीके से हम उसको कहते हैं। Now moving on to the 3Ks on the left hand side: key partners, key activities, key resources. Resources, very simple. Let's start off with that. किसी भी बिजनेस को रन करने के लिए हम कहते हैं कि essential चीजें क्या चाहिए, ठीक है? तो मेरी रिसोर्स हो सकती है, अगर वेबसाइट मैंने एक ई कॉमर्स बिजनेस करना है, सो माई की रिसोर्स इज माई वेबसाइट, इट्स माई ई कॉमर्स टूल, राइट? So that is my key, the website is my key resource. The developer is my key resource. The person who is going to do the social media marketing for me. So all human personnel, everything, they fall under the key resources. If I need a laptop, if I need a phone to market my product, that falls under key resources. और जो key activities हैं वो यही हैं कि मुझे अपना business चलाने के लिए जो रोज के काम करने हैं, am I speaking with people, am I doing pitches, am I finalizing my pitch deck, am I taking my pitch deck to different potential customers. जो की एक्टिविटी हम अपने बिजनेस को करने के लिए जो हमारे लिए जरूरी है, right? Whether that's interacting with customers, interacting with stakeholders, interacting with people who are involved in our business process, किसी तरह जो भी कारोबार को आगे लेके जाने के लिए हमें चीजें चाहिए, all of it falls under the key activities. And then moving on to key partners. Key partners is essentially collaborators, right? The most important thing in key partners is कि हम ये आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं उसमें कि हमारे जो बिजनेस है उसके लिए हम किस तरीके से कोलैबोरेशन लेके आते हैं. We'll do an activity right here. I'm sharing another whiteboard. Okay. I'm giving you guys a case scenario. Okay. Okay. And let me get, I think I'll have to just draw it. Okay. This is a fish. Okay. All right. If you all are fishes, okay, which pond would you want to be in? Do you want to be the small fish in a small pond or a big fish in a big pond? Think about it. Okay, Sumera. Okay, Dua. Oops, oops, oops. Chat is going quickly, quickly. Okay. Okay, bees are it. Okay, the big one. The big fish in the big pond. Okay. What about others? Okay, Ramin is in the A one. No, Fatma, which one? A or B? Okay, Amara is A. Okay. Okay, Fatma is A. What about others? Ayan, Jannat, Yusra, Hadi, Hitika.
So in A, you're a small fish in a small pond, right?
Yeah. And in B, you are a big fish in a big pond. Okay, Ayan is B, Yusra is B. Okay, Bhumika is A. Okay. What about you, Lina? No, Hadi, you cannot be that. This is life, you know. You just have these two options. You just have to pick one. Lina is an A. Okay. Both are the same, Yusra? Okay. I'm glad you think so. Okay. Do you see these dots? Now, the dots are opportunities. Okay. Let me make them a little bit bigger. I don't know if you guys can see them or not. Okay. These are opportunities. And these are opportunities in B. Now tell me, those of you who are in pond A, do you want to be in pond A or do you want to be in pond B? The dots are opportunities. In A, you have many dots. And in pond B, you have few dots, few opportunities. Now tell me, which pond would you rather be in? Okay, Sumera has moved. Oh, lot of movement I see. Lot of movement I see. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay. Lots of movement. Everybody has come in pond A. Very good. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Let's make it a little bit more difficult then. All righty. Let's look at. Okay. Now, because pond A has more people, So more fishes have arrived. And in pond B, this has happened. Now, pond A people, how do you feel now? Do you still want to be in pond A or do you want to go in pond B? उधर तो तंग होगी है जगह जरा. Movement? Yeah. What are you gonna do as you grow? And Sumera has not moved this much in a really long time. B से A से B, B से A, B से A. Okay. So more people in B now. Okay, very good. This is science why I'm showing you guys this, okay? And I'll just explain to you what happened. So this were you in pond B. And then this happened behind you. This is a bigger fish. Mind my drawing, okay? Mind my drawing. जब आप A से B में गए, दुआ को समझ नहीं आ रही. I have to redraw this fish a little bit better. So this were you in pond B initially, and then after the movement. And then what happened? A bigger fish with a bigger mouth open came. And you were the smaller fish in pond B. और उस बड़ी मछली ने कहा कि वो तो आपको छोटी मछली को खाएगी. Baby shark की तरह. Mama shark आ गई. Right? So it's gonna eat you up. This particular scenario, you guys, is an entrepreneur's life cycle. Okay? You are always either what you need to understand is. Yeah? Okay, Ayan, you were through and through in pond B. Very good. But what happens now, Ayan? When the bigger fish has come right behind you, और वो अपने दांत निकाल के कह रही है कि ये अयान तो मुझे आज बहुत अच्छी पार्टी कराएगा, इसको तो मैं चक्की मारूं, right? And a bigger fish is that, you're gonna just be hopping it. So in an entrepreneur's mindset, you will always have this particular dichotomy. अगर आप small pond में ही रहते हैं, तो कुछ अरसे के लिए आप अकेले होते हैं. मैं अपने बबल के अंदर, अपने छोटे से फिश टैंक के अंदर खुशी खुशी रह रहा हूँ, खुशी खुशी रह रही हूँ, को ढेरों अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं. You slowly start having opportunities and you start growing fatter, like, getting successful. And more people join you in that small pond because they want a slice of what you have. And very soon that ponds become smaller for you. It becomes caged. It becomes कि उसमें पानी भी खत्म हो जाता है और आप भी बड़े हो जाते हैं. और उस वक्त फिर आप ये जो उसकी ऊपर से ओपनिंग है ना, उससे निकल नहीं सकते because you are so fat. And that pond starts to stifle you, right? उस वक्त आपका jumping का criteria, because always remember कि कोई भी pond जो होता है ना, वो ऊपर से बंद नहीं होता, except for an aquarium. ना लेक ऊपर से बंद होता है, ना पॉन्ड होता है, ना ओशन, ना सी. कोई भी इस तरह का जो आपका इकोसिस्टम है, इट्स ऑलवेज ओपन फॉर यू टू एक्सप्लोर. Right time for you to manage is once you have tried, you've taken the opportunities in the small pond. आप जब अपने इलाके में, अपने स्कूल में, अपने कॉलेज में, अपने इकोसिस्टम में उस पॉन्ड के अंदर अपॉर्चुनिटीज को अवेल कर लेते हैं, then is the time where you need to move and move quickly and come into a bigger pond space, which is pond B. यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि आपसे बड़े बड़े big fish already वहां पे मौजूद होंगे. So there the strategy, Ayan, in your case is you are still the smaller fish in them, right? और वहां पे already existing business owners और वो सारे जो हैं वो आपके लिए बैठे हुए हैं, right? आपसे पहले के. What you need to do is to create a strategy and be that parasite fish that we have all heard about and thought of and know of in grade 6 science book. कि पैरासाइट फिश जो होती है वो कभी भी बड़ी मछली के आगे नहीं आती, वो बड़ी मछली के पीछे जो है उसकी दुम से उसकी करंट के साथ उसको उससे मेंटोरिंग लेके या उसके साथ किसी ना किसी तरह की कोलैबोरेशन करके उसके पीछे स्टिक करती है. And that enables that small fish to survive in that big ecosystem space. Right? And this particular concept enables that small fish कि ना तो मैं इस बड़ी मछली के मुंह के आगे आऊंगा, because they have more पैसा, they are in the market, they have more market share, right? I will get crushed. So in order to avoid that, I try to collaborate with that small fish, or I try to see where they are heading and try to slowly follow their current and do something for myself till I become bigger enough to then detach myself from them and swim on my own. Okay? Why did I tell you this long analogy? Is because जब आप business में जाते हैं, there's nothing you can do without collaboration if you are a small fish. You need to look at bigger fish and you need to pitch ideas to them in a way that it sounds to them like a win-win. Key partnerships जो BMC के होते हैं ना, they are supposed to basically align you and assign you and guide you towards that. I'll give you Mindworks example. So in 2016 when I started off, I had left a corporate job and a multinational corporate job. So I had an ecosystem space. I was already in Pond A, but I could see that Pond A was getting a bit stifling. So I had to move to Pond B. So मैंने देखा यार अच्छा मैंने एक entrepreneurship की organization बनानी है, बच्चों के लिए बनानी है, प्री ग्रेजुएशन के लिए बनानी है, प्री टीन्स के लिए, टीन्स के लिए बनानी है. Who should I go to? Who should I go to? So luckily, the incubation centers were the key area where they were, a lot of work was being done. I wanted to show you a picture here as well that popped up on my Facebook stories the other day. And what I realized was that maybe I needed to go in and speak to the incubation center. And because everybody is pitching, I'll ask Zainab to, I'll send it to Zainab just now because it's in my phone. And while I speak, you can perhaps, I can show you then that particular experience. So, what I did was that I reached out to incubation centers and I decided to pitch my idea, my startup, right? And I had an IoT startup that I was thinking of back in the day. मैंने पिचिंग अच्छी नहीं हुई because obviously वो मुझे मेरे जानने रिश्तेदार थोड़ी थे या जो भी था, it wasn't something that I was too fond of showing. I've sent it to Zainab. I'll share it with you guys right now as well. When I pitched it to them, you guys, what happened was this is that day, 2018, right? Team Up was running the NIC Islamabad. This is me. You can see me with half the weight that I have now. And I didn't make it because there were people with much better pitches. So I said कि अब इसको run down तो नहीं करना. This is from 2018, and I just recorded that memory back in the day. Thanks, Anna, for sharing. So I went ahead. I got to network with the director of the incubation center, Parvez Abbasi Saab. I went to Parvez Saab. I said, I need a meeting with you because I have an idea. He said, okay, this is the time. मेरी secretary से time ले लो. घंटे का 30 minutes मुझे सिर्फ उस वक्त मिले. So I went with a printout of an idea of entrepreneurship boot camps for kids. And I told them this was my pitch. Assalamu alaikum Parvez साहब, thank you so much for your time because 30 minute का time था जिसमें से 15 minute वो किसी और meeting में busy थे. So I had 12 to 15 minutes with him precisely. So I said अब क्या करूंगी 15 मिनट में कैसे बताऊंगी उनको आइडिया. तो तो मैंने कहा सर अस्सलाम वालेकुम, मेरा नाम नूरलैन है, मेरा ये आइडिया है दैट आई वांट टू डू entrepreneurship boot camp for kids, and I don't think anybody in Islamabad Pindi can do this for you as well as I can. And he said, lady, that's a tall claim to have. मैंने कहा yes, because you are dealing with people who are um, who are essentially young adults already, and they are not the ones who are the आपके पास इतना bandwidth ही नहीं है कि आप छोटे बच्चों के साथ ये काम कर सकें. And he was like, that's a tall claim. I said, yes, sir, because this is what I've been doing the last 10 years, interacting with little kids. And only only I can do this in Pindi and Islamabad. And I think it will be a great brand building opportunity for NIC. And he said, is that a proposal? I said, yes. This is the printout. Gandhi si presentation thi. It wasn't even a nice pitch deck. He said, he called Risham. Risham was then the advisor, his secretary. He said, Risham, give this lady a draft team up contract. I said, but I can't pay you. But I will put your logo on everything that I do. I can't pay you. I need the space for free. So it was a barter key relationship. I signed the first contract, and next thing that I'm going to show you. मैं bloat करने के लिए नहीं बता रही है, मैं आपको ये बता रही हूँ कि कभी-कभी जब आप अपनी नेटवर्किंग अच्छी करते हो और जब आप लोगों से रीच आउट करते हो एक तरीके से और उनको ये दिखाते हो कि व्हाट्स द वैल्यू फॉर यू, फॉरगेट मी, right? I am a small fish in a pond, right? So what's the value in it for you that you can actually take this business and take it forward? The reason I'm showing you the Facebook page is to tell you guys what is it that we were able to achieve after that, which is a proof point. Okay, let me just go quickly. Let me just tell you all of the NIC based sessions that took place at the NIC in Islamabad without me paying a single dime to them. Okay, this is the NIC space. Those of you who have been to the NIC in Islamabad would get to know. And we could play around with this is the guy, Parvez Saab, right? And if you see closely on the certificate, that's my signature on the right, and on the left is his signature. And under his signature is National Incubation Center and Team Up, his own organization. It was a barter, right? And just go through series and series and series and look through the target audience space. I told him that I will ask your startups to come in and pitch their ideas and see how the kids react to their ideas. So each one of their VR AI startups that were incubated then, उनको guest speakers के लिए invite करती थी. And this I didn't even have a team then. I would get freelance trainees to come in on board. That's Ma'am Mariam right there, Zainab. And they'd come on board and they would just help me out in their chuttis. And we kept doing this over and over and over again, right? And different sets and groups of people and kids would come, and we would have like marketplace activities where I'd give them a budget of 500 rupees and they would have to, create something and do a live marketplace activity and sell these ideas. ये सारे key relationships में अब आपका सवाल मुझसे ये होना चाहिए कि why was NIC doing this? What was in it for them? है ना? Makes sense, right? कि आप उनको कोई पैसे भी नहीं दे रही और आप उनको ये कह रही हैं कि ये जो है क्या हो रहा है. This was what it was for them. If you zoom closely, news channels would want to come and say NIC इस्लामाबाद में ये काम हो रहा है, आइए मिलिए, आइए देखिए जो ऑर्गेनाइजर्स हैं वो क्या कहना चाहते हैं कि यहाँ पे क्या उनको माइलेज मिल रहा था. और हर दफा कोई भी ब्रांड एम्बेसडर आता था या किसी भी ब्रिटिश एम्बेसी का कोई कमिश्नर आ रहा है या जो भी कोई आ रहा है, ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन एट द NIC, they would proudly gloat and say, oh my god, हम तो ये काम करते हैं. मेरी बला से मुझे उनसे कोई बिजनेस नहीं मिल रहा था, किसी हाई कमीशन से, राइट, या किसी एम्बेसडर से, right? I wasn't getting any business. I was getting business from my key customers that were all here, right? Which were these people um, that were trying to work and generating the actual money. So मेरे basis के ऊपर अगर वो अपना mileage run करना चाहते थे, I was completely okay with it. But, you know what happened? When they saw these sessions take place on such a vibrant level and the frequency of it was crazy, उन्होंने कहा, इसमें क्या, ये तो हम खुद भी कर लेते हैं. And they said, Ki, Noor, why don't you train our team? And, why don't we have like a session with our team और आप उनको train कर दें. And I said, the pond is getting smaller now. Competition is coming, right? They want to do something themselves and they think they can manage it. What do you think I should have done? Naraz ho jati? They were still the bigger fish, right? We were still starting off, we were still getting the mileage, and we were still getting our word across and getting known as an organization that's into entrepreneurship. I was getting, we were going to schools and doing like school focused sessions, which were customized for particular school chains. So I said, absolutely, let's just go ahead. उनका बट माइंडवर्क्स का सेशन जो होगा ना वो 2 दिनों पे सिर्फ 2 घंटे का होगा. मैंने कहा जी बिल्कुल ठीक है, right? So I let them do the sessions with 3 other companies that were incubated at NIC. One was looking after STEM, one was looking after developing robotic kits. She's a good friend of mine now. She develops robotic kits for kids, Oxford Solutions. So the 4 companies, 4 startups got together and we did one session. And you know what happened? It bombed. Right? Why? Why did it bomb? Because the value proposition got diluted. वो बच्चे 2 घंटे में अभी उनको बीएमसी समझ आया नहीं है और वो दौड़ के जाके जो है वो स्टेम की लर्निंग करने जा रहे थे. फिर वो स्टेम की लर्निंग अगले दिन उन्होंने कह दिया, नहीं अच्छा ठीक है, हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है, हम बच्चों को पिज्जा नहीं खिला सकते थे. दैट वाजंट अ माइंडवर्क्स वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन. वी वुड ऑलवेज टेल parents that we would have some snack for kids, right? But because it was a collaborative approach, not all collaborators agreed on providing lunch. वैल्यू प्रोपोजिशन ड्विंडल होगी. पेरेंट्स ने कहा 4 घंटे बच्चे बैठे रहे हैं और आपने उनको कुछ खाने को नहीं दिया. What can we do? Next day, the kids went ahead with their robotic kits and then they had a VR AR session. So the entire value proposition जिसकी बेसिस थी कि बच्चों को अपना कारोबार करना सिखाना है और उसमें एक्साइटमेंट क्रिएट करनी है, that got diluted. So the key partners did not really actually delve into or relate to something which was more productive. And that, by the way, you guys, this particular small fish, big pond, small fish, big pond, is a particular analogy that happens with all of us over and over and over and over again. राइट. इसी तरह एक मेरे पास तस्वीर आई थी एक दफा इन विच अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइंड फ्रैंटिकली सेंड्स मी अ पिक्चर. एक और इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर खुला था कहीं छोटा सा और उसने कहा, नूर वहां पे ना एक वो लगा हुआ है, एक बैनर, और उसके ऊपर तस्वीरें तुम्हारे बूट कैंप्स की हैं. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बूट कैंप ऊपर लिखा हुआ है. द टैगलाइन इज योर्स एक्सेप्ट दैट द कंपनी इज समथिंग एल्स. तो मैंने कहा जल्दी से मुझे फोटो भेजो ना उसकी. उसने कहा, व्हाई आर यू नॉट fussed about it so much? Why are you taking it so friendly? Why is it something that you are happy about? वो उसने मुझे डांट दिया उल्टा कि तुम खुश हो रही हो, तुम्हारा दिमाग खराब है, तुम्हारा कारोबार किसी ने कॉपी कर लिया है. I said, no, if somebody is copying me, then I think I'm doing something right, right? As a small business, imitation is the best form of praise. if people think that they can sell it as well as they can. It didn't work out. I didn't see that company after it. Neither did I take an action on it, because it's still a small fish, right? Remember that. So the reason I have shared these practical stories with you is, and I might have a picture of that banner somewhere to prove it to you guys that that's something that happened on a realistic note. But when you take that same proof points, then you end up doing such a lot of big level trainings. But let me show you a couple of pictures that I've just found. Um, that that essentially experience will take you forward, because वो बच्चे तो एक जगह थे, जिनको मैंने पिच किया था और जिनके साथ हमने काम किया, बट उसी एक्सपीरियंस की बेसिस पे then I was going around and training adults, right? Because the concept was the same. But then I could go ahead and I could start training adults, and I could, let me show you a couple of pictures. As long as आप अपने relationships, यानी कि key customer relationships को expand on कर सकते हो you guys, तो उसमें फिर लोग कोई भी आ सकते हैं, और आपका वो जो experience है over time वो expand होता जाता है. Let me show you this one picture. You'd see all adults here. This is a corporate setting. This is for a big um, um, a donor group. I can't name them, but they're all my friends. But this is a big donor group with 30 of them, 40 of their team members doing like team meetings, and just going ahead, and the agenda is different. It's more serious, it's more rigorous, but even they like to have fun sometimes. So they would invite me, and we'd have to do certain activities with them. And then let me show you another area. इसी चीज को आप लोग, वो बच्चे जो contribute back to society करना चाहते हैं, to do something good, those opportunities will also come your way, right? Do you see this? This is a small, oh my goodness, this is such a lovely experience. This is a gaon in Pindi outskirts, running a charity school, जो कि काम वाली होती हैं, जो हमारे घर काम करते हैं, डोमेस्टिक हेल्पर्स होते हैं, विडोज होती हैं जो अपने बच्चों को नहीं भेज सकती स्कूल. ये उनका एक चैरिटी रन स्कूल है, सिला, राइट? और ये किसी के घर में किसी एक बंदे ने वहां पे स्पेस दी हुई है. इफ यू सी पीछे सिला है, एंड आई डोंट हैव अ वाइट बोर्ड, एंड आई डोंट हैव ऑल एनआईसी रिलेटेड फैंसी थिंग्स. और ये अम्मियों के साथ हम सेशन कर रहे हैं कि बच्चे जो चाइल्ड अब्यूज से गुजरते हैं, तो अम्मियों को किस तरीके से विजिलेंट होना चाहिए. वी couldn't show their faces, so all you can see is the back side of mothers. और ये फिर आप इसको फिलेंथ्रोपी में भी लेके आ सकते हो. ओ नो, एक्चुअली वी कैन शो द पिक्चर्स. यू कैन सी ये सारी अम्मियां बैठी हुई हैं, और उनके साथ हम मेंटल हेल्थ, और जो बच्चे किसी ना किसी तरह के चाइल्ड अब्यूज से गुजरते हैं, उनको हम ये कैसे आगाही दे सकते हैं, अवेयरनेस क्रिएट कर सकते हैं कि दिस इज समथिंग. डू यू सी द एनवायरनमेंट, राइट? बिल्कुल कच्चा फर्श था, बारिश भी होनी शुरू हो गई थी इस दिन, और इससे पहले हमने बच्चों के साथ सेशन किया हुआ था. नो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, नथिंग, but then the process becomes rewarding for you. Yeah, if you have to just if you have the passion, and if you have the will to take these things forward. Does it sense on the BMC? I'm sorry, I just shared a little bit too much personal things with you guys, but I thought that it was important for you to see the full curve of how, if your main USP is to deliver capacity building to people of all shapes, sizes, then you can keep redevising your business model canvas. Okay, so let me know feedback if so far everything is good, everything is making sense. Yeah, in the chat. Okay, I see a chat pop in. All right, wonderful, Fajar. So just coming back quickly to the last two things which I have also addressed to some effect. that जब आप की पार्टनरशिप्स में नीचे आपके दो चीजें होती हैं कारोबार की, your cost and your revenue, all right? Different cost structures and different revenue models. अगर आप smartly ऐसी barter arrangements में जाते हैं with businesses that can actually help develop and reduce your cost, that's the ideal thing, right? Nobody is stopping you from doing a lot of blogging work on this particular area, a lot of making videos on your particular area of work that you want to do. अभी तो डिजिटल एज का जमाना है, तो आपको कोई भी नहीं रोकता और उसमें कोई पैसे भी नहीं लगते अगर आपने इनफ कंटेंट जनरेट करना है फॉर योर आइडिया, फॉर योर बिजनेस, that this is something that I want to do. Zero marketing budget. You don't need a marketing budget to actually get your word across. You just need consistency. Revenue models, just like I've shared with you, that revenue models are always going to be based on how you can address your different customer segments और कस्टमर रिलेशनशिप्स को आप किस तरीके से रेवेन्यू मॉडल शेयर कर सकते हो. मैं अगर आपको एक एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप बूट कैंप की बताऊं, एक रियल एग्जांपल, कि we were reached out by the AKDN, Khan Development Network. They reached out to us and they said कि Noor, your pricing is a little bit on the higher side. तो हमारे सारे कम्युनिटी के जो बच्चे हैं वो ये प्राइसिंग नहीं पे कर सकते, वो पेरेंट्स. तो व्हाट कैन वी डू? I went ahead, I did my costing कि पर बच्चा मेरी कॉस्ट क्या आती है with the stationery, with the certificate and you know their food and everything. So I thought अच्छा पर बच्चा इतनी कॉस्ट आती है, okay, what can we do, what can we do? So I said to the parents that you pay, the ones who can afford to pay the full price of the fee, और उसमें एक बच्चा हम जो मार्शलाइज कम्युनिटी का है जो कि अफोर्ड नहीं कर सकता वो फ्री आएगा. So one is paid full priced by one parent and the other kid comes for free. तो यानी कि एक की कीमत में दो बच्चे. बट वो जो दूसरा बच्चा था वो एक ऐसे सोशो इकोनॉमिक क्लास का होगा who couldn't afford it, right? And we did so many community focused sessions with such kids, not only in Islamabad, but in Pindi, in Gilgit, in Chitral. We were able to, you know, do all of these sessions on the same business model. So your revenue models can also change, is what I'm trying to tell you. एक बच्चे की cost पे अगर थोड़ा सा हमें as a social organization, if we had to, you know, just cut back on a little bit of our profits, we are fine, right? If you're just looking at the bigger picture. Is that the business model canvas? Are the 9 elements clear practically? Right? Okay, wonderful. We still have 30 minutes, and in this 30-minute, we are just going to look at examples. Okay, and you guys will be doing the talking. I'll just be showing you videos of businesses and ideas across Pakistan only. And you're going to tell me what is the business model for this particular organization. So bear with me. I'm quickly going to hop up and I'm going to pull up the first video that I want to share with you guys. And then we can say, you can tell me whether this makes sense to you. Okay. Alrighty. Let's just go ahead. Share the screen. You guys let me know when you can see it. Oops, oops, oops. My cursor is just... Alrighty. Oops. Okay, can you guys see the screen? Okay, this is the first case study. And I'll ask you a series of questions after you have seen the video. I'm in a meeting.
Currently, we work with 65 businesses online. 75% of these businesses are women-owned. 55% of these businesses either employ or work with women artisans. And about 15% of them have a social agenda, particularly women with children and women with domestic responsibilities, because you don't have to leave your space. Earlier, if I had to work in a village, I would have to physically travel there myself. That's expensive, it's time consuming. Now it's all over WhatsApp. It's a quick conversation. We can get people on Skype. We can even do trainings on Skype. So it's really cost effective and much faster, and it's real-time connectivity, which is amazing. The person who is producing something is not the person who is marketing it. Sales and marketing and design tend to be very distinct features. And yet when we come to the artisan sector, we have the infrastructure. It is ripe to grow. It's just a matter of saying, go, it's green, and you can go.
Can you guys not see the screen? Ayan?
We can see this.
You can? Okay.
Yeah.
I think Ayan can't. Okay, we can see it.
Therefore, any funding that we did get would help us to grow it in multiples. If you're able to market the product better, the more people that buy the product, the more we can produce. So we want to definitely grow our social impact numbers, because very conservatively we estimate that we're working ourselves and through our partners with about 3,000 artisans right now. We want to take that number tenfold.
All right. Thoughts? How many of you guys know about Polly and Other Stories? No? No is a good answer, by the way. I love when anybody says no. Nope, it's okay, Ramin. No? Okay, wonderful. Brave girl. Alrighty. What did you guys understand from the business? What is it about? Yeah, Hadi, very good. Hadi, what did you know about them? Okay. Let me show you guys this, and then I want your thoughts around what is it, the look and the feel and the BMC in head. Okay. All that we are focusing on is the BMC. So this is Polly and Other Stories. This is a Pakistani brand, as you have seen, right? Employment to underprivileged artisans. Absolutely. कोई नया concept है? हर वक्त हम कहते हैं पाकिस्तान में कढ़ाइयाँ, लोकल आर्ट वर्क जो है, लोकल आर्टिसन जो है, वो उसका आर्ट खत्म हो रहा है. Just look at the USP. We'll start off with the USP. What you guys have actually um, putting in words is the USP of a brand, right? The tagline was changing the narrative, right? Especially women, providing them with employment, empowerment opportunities. Now take a look at the website. When you look at the website, and I'm just going to take you through some of the products, and just understand कि ये लगता है कि ये कहीं देसी बना हुआ है.
No.
No, right, Bhumika?
Yes.
Right? It's just showing me pounds. Let me change the pricing tag. Hold on. Let me put it in PKRs. Okay. What they have done is that they have taken that art that is with the local artisans. और यहाँ पे जब आप इसको देखते हैं, ये चाय वाला मग्गा जो है, ये हमने ढाबों पे कहीं इसमें कभी चाय पी होगी. Can you see the price of it?
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody thought of taking that chai ka pyala, putting it into a scented candle process, putting a label on them, and just ensuring that it sells at the price at which it sells. Okay. And just looking at how the BMC is fitting into this is the USP you guys have identified. Customer segments. Is it a high-end purchase for somebody or is it a low-end purchase? High-end, yes. Right? So people who could actually afford these products. Absolutely, Fajr. High-end, right? They are low-key expensive, Lena. They are expensive. Why? Because the target audience, the people who are purchasing it, are sitting here. If I zoom in and if I show you that they're shipping all across the world, right? So UK आ रहा है, Canada जा रहा है, अमेरिका जा रहा है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया जा रहा है, पूरे यूरोप में जा रहा है, पूरे जापान में जा रहा है, right? And that is what is adding that kind of sparkle to their business model and how they are looking at um, just empowering artisans. जितने पैसे ये कमाएंगे उसका fraction artisans को जाता है और जो storytelling है, that is so powerful that it actually benefits the narrative side. If you saw quickly into the video, you'd say that they will say कि we tell the customers to support the art that is getting lost. So essentially going into the minds of audiences to saying, oh my God, this is a handcrafted thing. And the target audience is the one who would, really pay this amount of money, which is not a lot of money, to deal with the higher clientele stakeholder group. Absolutely, Fajr. Right? So not only to international audiences, but international audiences who can pay the buck. If you're going to see quickly, if you see here, they also work with a lot of, um, other small businesses who can then, support this particular, their particular initiative in terms of how they have marketed it. So ये जो भी कोई वो पोस्टर भी बनता है और जो भी उसके पीछे बैकग्राउंड होती है उसको वो ब्रांड इतने अच्छे तरीके से कहते हैं कि it actually tells you that what is it that the story behind purchasing that particular product is. So now that you know, Ayan, Hadi, sorry, because you've been to the store, now you can say कि देखो ये जो सारी बात के पैसे हैं, which is this narrative, there's a proof point. There's a proof point in the sense that, they are telling people that this is what the story is and this is who we have tried to benefit from और इतने लोगों के और इतने households के को हम support करते हैं. आप ये देखें अगर impact देख लें, this is essentially when Angela and Amina were traveling north of Pakistan and they realized that there is no handicrafts that we can get because this is a couple of years ago, maybe a decade or more ago, is when they set it up. तो अभी भी देखो यही होता है ना कि हम जब भी कहीं बाहर फिरने जाते हैं अब तो हमें फिर भी कोई आर्टिफैक्ट या वहां का कोई लोकल सोवेनियर मिल जाता है, but essentially couple of years ago we were unable to find those souvenirs, and we didn't have access to all of these places that we were visiting. हमें वहां के souvenirs ही नहीं मिलते थे. Does it sound exciting? Taking a thing that is 100 rupee or maybe a 50 rupee to packaging it, putting value addition into it, and then selling it at 100 times more price variation. कोई नई काम नहीं है. कढ़ाइयाँ सदियों से होती हैं. Local artisans सदियों से बैठे हुए हैं. But somebody had this idea to actually put a different tarka on the same dal, right? And take it in a more innovative way. The selling, the storytelling, the value proposition has to outshine. Make sense? All right, wonderful. Another case study. Which one should I show you guys? Okay, let's look at this one. All right. So this is across the border, but a very, very good case study. Can you guys see the screen? Yep. All right. Here we go.
I ordered for idli sambar and the spoon is put in it. So as he was putting the spoon, I grabbed it from his hand, I ran my thumb on it, it was greasy. I took a sniff of it, it was already smelling of sambar. It's being reused. We know plastic has got so many chemical complexes in it, phthalates, chelates, bisphenols. These cause cancer, these leach into food, they don't biodegrade, but still we're using a whole lot of plastic disposable cutlery. Why are we doing this? Answer obviously is there is no alternative. Oh well, we have an alternative now. We're coming with an alternative, and that is edible cutlery. Here there is no coating, in fact it is entirely nutritious. You can eat up the spoon. Delicious. It is made of jowar blended with rice and wheat without preservatives, just like dehydrated vegetables. Our product also has a very long shelf life of more than 3 years. In fact, you can even have a hot soup also. You can stir your sugar and have your tea. You can eat it up. You don't want to eat it, you can just throw it. It decomposes within 4 to 5 days.
विश्वास नहीं हुआ, पहले बार देखे तो लकड़ी समझी मैं, मगर गांव में स्टार्ट होके काम शुरू किया बाद साग में डाल के अपन खाए, बहुत टेस्टी रहता मैडम। आपने कभी खाने के चम्मच के बारे में सुना है? आपको एक सैंपल देती हूँ। आप अगर स्पून को काटेंगे तो स्पून का फ्लेवर आएगा आपको। इसमें जीरा, अजवाइन, रॉक सॉल्ट, ब्लैक पेपर मिलाते हैं और इसको बेक करते हैं। तो आप जब स्पून खाते हैं तो सिर्फ स्पून नहीं खा रहे, आप एक ज्वार रोटी खा रहे हैं।
When it comes to financing this, I had to put the only asset that I have, which is the flat where I'm residing, as a collateral security. And then got the loan because there's no such technology. We are the first in the world. So the technology had to be created. I brought in this edible cutlery and trying to promote a market for millets and motivate farmers to move away from rice. Plastic is very cheap, true, but I can make it as cheap. I can, with volumes. And once when I get the volumes, I get onto the farmers directly and start procuring raw materials directly from the farmers, in which case my spoons will be as cheap as the plastic spoons. So now the cutlery is tasty, fun, nutritious and environment friendly. That's edible cutlery.
Okay, guys, thoughts. Let's do the BMC now, because this covers absolutely all the aspects of the BMC. Value proposition, what was it? Anybody brave enough to unmute?
In cutlery, like with millets.
Absolutely, Bhumika. Why with millets? Fatma, my question is that what was the
It's
value proposition
edible.
of this business?
Because
It's edible, yes. Yeah. But
Because
why millets?
rice takes more water.
Absolutely. So what he said in the end was the value proposition. Edible cutlery, that's more nutritional, environmental friendly,
And
and
he's
healthy.
trying to make it as cheap as plastic spoons.
as cheap as plastic spoons, because देखो ना price सबसे ज़्यादा important चीज़ आ जाती है ना फजर, when we are thinking about scaling up and when we're thinking about taking something and just marketing it well, तो लोगों को convince करने का सबसे बड़ा और important तरीका ही यही होता है कि हम उनसे कहें कि यार इसकी कीमत जो है वो कम होगी. Let's move on. Let me share the screen, maybe then it's more clearer. So value proposition, you guys got to know what it was. What was the customer relationships? Was it a B2B or a B2C? Or both?
It could be both.
Both.
Both? How was it both?
Because you
Because
could like sell it to other industry. He could sorry. He could sell it to other industries like farmers or food industries, and
Yeah,
also sell it to customers.
absolutely. बिल्कुल ठीक बात है. उसके बाद मुझे बताइए कि how was the customer segments? Who were the beneficiaries? चलो वो बताओ. Who was getting benefited out of the business? Who were the beneficiaries? Go ahead, Dua.
the millet farmers.
Okay. मिलेट फार्मर्स तो चलो वो तो मिलेट ग्रो करते थे, पहले राइस ग्रो करते थे, फिर मिलेट्स ग्रो करते थे, वो तो थे. और कौन था?
The
Who
brand
were
owner.
the brand owner? Okay. Who were they employing?
The women from low income households.
Women from low income households. वो जो आंटियां वहां पे बैठी थी, उन्होंने कहा कि हम ऑलरेडी 9 खवातीन को ऐसी अपनी कंपनी में एम्प्लॉय कर चुके हैं जो कि आपके एक एक बेनिफिशरी थे. कस्टमर सेगमेंट्स में वो आंटी किधर गई थी? किसको ट्राई कराने?
The local dhabas in a way. The local
लोकल
stalls
ढाबा,
like
लोकल
Mexican.
ठेले वाला, एनीबडी हु इज ऑफरिंग, जिस जहां पे कहीं स्टील का या प्लास्टिक का चम्मच आप देखते हैं. This particular case study, I love it. Why? Because it just clearly in the first 10 seconds talks about the problem. How many times have you gone to a place to have biryani और वो स्टील का चम्मच ला के रखता है और आप कहते हो यार ये पता नहीं इसने धोया होगा कि नहीं धोया होगा, है ना? होता है ना? इट हैपेंस. स्कूल के कैफेटेरिया में भी हो सकता है. स्टील का चम्मच है, वो उसको टच करता है, वो कहते हैं इतना ग्रीसी था. राइट. इफ यू आर ईटिंग चाट फ्रॉम समवेयर और आप उसको स्पेसिफिकली कहते हो कि भाई मुझे प्लास्टिक का चम्मच ला के देना कि चलो डिस्पोजेबल होगा, या हम कहीं से मिल्क शेक पीते हैं तो आप कहते हो कि यार अच्छा इसका जो मग है वो मुझे डिस्पोजेबल ला के देना, और आइसक्रीम. सो द प्रॉब्लम आइडेंटिफिकेशन वाज रियली रियली स्पॉट ऑन. और अगर कमर्शियली हम देखें ना, अगर हम एज ह्यूमन बीइंग्स देखें, या जो हमने कल बात की थी, जो ह्यूमन सेंटर्ड डिजाइन की हमने कल बात की थी, चाहत यू वर इन दैट सेशन, उसमें हमने यही देखा था कि ह्यूमंस की मेंटालिटी में सबसे पहली चीज यही आएगी कि यार ये हाइजीनिक है. हमें ये शायद मसला इतना ना पड़े कि वो प्लास्टिक का चम्मच है तो प्लास्टिक की प्रोडक्शन इज नॉट एनवायरमेंटल फ्रेंडली. फॉर फ्यू ऑफ अस it would make a difference, but for many of us it won't make a difference, right? हम बहुत सारे हम में से लोग ऐसे ही हैं जो कहते हैं यार अच्छा ठीक है, इतनी मल्टीपल प्लास्टिक प्रोडक्शन है, कोई बात नहीं, साडा की जाता है. But when we actually start thinking about as uh, a social or an environmental responsibility, you'll start thinking about it कि यार वाकई ये एक प्रॉब्लम है. How can we address it? की एक्टिविटीज उसने बताई. उसने पहले बताई कि पहले मैंने प्रोटोटाइप बनाया, एक डाई बनाई थी वो जो उसका स्टील का जो एक स्ट्रक्चर था. उसके बाद उसने कहा कि फिर मैं इसको अब स्केल अप पे लेके जाऊंगा तो फिर मुझे ये करना पड़ेगा. की रिसोर्सेज में क्या क्या था? द फैक्ट्री, ओके, द रेसिपी, ऑब्वियसली द फूड मटेरियल, द रॉ मटेरियल, वेयर ही इज सोर्सिंग देम फ्रॉम, और उसको ये पता था कि यार ये हमें यहाँ से सोर्स करके मुझे चीजें आसानी से होंगी. He told about the cost structure. He said कि मुझे इसको फंड करने के लिए अपना फ्लैट जो है वो गिरवी रखना पड़ा. I had to put it as a collateral. because the money has to come from somewhere, right? And then the revenue stream, he spoke about that. Yes, it is expensive right now, in comparison to plastic, but then अगर मेरे पास scale हो जाएगा और customer groups मेरे पास ज़्यादा आ जाएंगे, तो then I'll be able to meet the revenue. Do you guys realistically think that he was able to cover all of his BMC in the 2.5 minutes that he spoke? Yeah, right? Fajr, you had already seen or known about this idea, right? But इसको इस तरीके से break down करके, maybe you would have just seen it today in terms of कि देखो जब business ideas को हम practically, realistically देखना चाहते हैं, so we get to understand that where is the consumer coming from, where is this person coming from, and what is his um thought process in getting this across to his customer groups. Okay, is the business model canvas clear to all of you? Does it make sense? Do you see the importance of why the business blueprint is important? Okay, wonderful, excellent. Okay, now I'm going to move ahead with the task. Now the task is really, really, really simple, because हम चाह रहे हैं कि आपका जो आइडियाज हैं डिफरेंट, हम उनको किस तरीके से कोलेट करके जो चीज आपके पोर्टफोलियो में भी अच्छी लगे, एंड व्हाट इज इट दैट वी कैन give you as a finale to the YEM fellowship. So this is the task. This pitch deck is a sample pitch deck. This Zainab is going to share with all of you. What do we have to do? Okay, this is again just a draft, और ideas आपके जो भी हैं, feel free to share them with me. Then in the group we will be able to guide you, help you, अगर आप कहीं पे भी अपने idea के बारे में clear नहीं है. But we're going to take that first baby step towards what is going to be Harima's, Dua's, Ramin's, Fatma Waqas, Ayan's, Fajr's brilliant idea. Okay, so you're going to take the first step. The pitch deck is a sample. You don't have to follow it to the T, but इसमें ये चीजें जो हैं वो must include होनी चाहिए आपके pitch deck में. You'll start off straight away with the problem. What is the problem I'm trying to solve? One sentence. Okay. The solution of that problem in your head. कि उस problem का solution क्या है? You're going to talk about your idea. Just 2 lines. What is my idea? Very clearly कि मैं क्या करना चाह रही हूँ, क्या करना चाह रहा हूँ. Target audience है. Who is my customer and buyer? One word. Who am I going to sell this idea to? And your BMC. अब BMC कैसे fill out करना है? Bullets. That's it. छोटी छोटी एक दो bullets. I don't want it to be in the most perfect form, but you can use this template to copy paste the same BMC, right? And just stick with it. But एक bullet, revenue कहाँ से आएगा, पैसे कितने लगेंगे, कहाँ से आएंगे, ठीक है? Stakeholder activities, resources, customer relationships, customer segments. If you get stuck anywhere, feel free to ask us on this. How will I market? यानी कि मेरी marketing कैसे होगी, मैं किधर जाऊंगा, social media पे करूंगा या लोगों से बातचीत करके करूंगा? What is your difference? आपका तड़का क्या है? ठीक है? What is your different idea in this? Okay? And then your team. You might not have 4 people at this moment. It could just be you. That's fine. That's totally fine. तो ये जो 5-6 slides, जो slide deck 10 है, but इसमें ऊपर नीचे करके these are essentially 8 slides that you have to develop. Okay? For your startup. This is a template. You can make it colorful. You can make it graphic. You can make it as you wish it to be. Okay? Anybody has any questions in this? ये आपका task है. This is your final task, because for what we have planned for you guys is to get independent experts on board, right? Not as judges to judge you, but to provide you feedback on your ideas. But how we are going to do this, once you have this slide deck ready, Zainab will give you the deadline, right, for the submission of the task. But जब आपका ये slide deck complete हो जाएगा, we are going to hop over to a software which is called Loom. Loom. I'm going to share the link in the chat with all of you. And I'm going to show you what you're going to do with your slide deck. So there are two elements of the pitch deck session, which is loom.com. This is a software that we are going to use. It's open source and free to use. Oops, why did I send it to waiting room participants? Hold on, you guys. Alrighty. www.loom.com. And once you are done, 2 to 3 problems ho sakti hain Amara, yes, but try to narrow it. Okay? Try to narrow it, because then the more narrower it is, the better it would be for you to stick to the point, because we are not looking for very long presentations. We are looking for a 3-minute pitch session. Okay? I'll show you how is it going to look like. Once you are done with Loom, you guys, we are gonna, once you're done with the pitch deck, sorry, you will hop on to this software called Loom. Okay? Loom is a software in which you can record yourself as you are pitching. So it's like a live pitch session. It will give you an option to, it's a free trial run. So you can have it for free on your Gmail account. That's not a problem. And what this is going to do is that it's going to provide you with an option to record yourself making your pitch. And I'm going to show you my pitch from COVID times. And you're going to promise not to laugh on it, okay? So this is how the pitch is going to look like. This is my final submission for an international program, a fellowship that I did, and you can see the date, 25th October 2021. And let me play it for you guys. In Loom, you'll be able to record yourself. Hi, let's learn about MindWorks International, ideas that matter. This is me at the age of 8 wanting to be an entrepreneur, but there were very few opportunities that were available. 24 years in education, a career, and a job later, I realized that there were still very few opportunities that were available for my daughter to pick up entrepreneurship as a career choice. I'm just going to mute it, which made me think about a huge problem that our country has. You can take a look at it later. I'll send you the link of this as well. But this is essentially what we want from you. Your slide deck, however you want it presented. Those of you who have taken the branding session with Keith can see some of it reflective here, with the color, with what we are trying to say, with the font, with, essential MindWorks, you can say brand assets. And then just look at the 3 minutes, 4 minutes recording that is being done. It will take multiple attempts, but hopefully if you have developed your slide deck in a way, it should be a quicker thing for you to do. Why are we wanting to do this as a task is because this is a digital space slide deck that you can then use anywhere to, send it across to any other pitching competitions, to any other initial discussions with any other proof point, wherever you want to show your pitch to. So I wanted it to be in a digital space. People don't like going through PDFs. They like seeing the real people, the real faces behind their ideas. ठीक है? So इसी तरह आप इसको move करके अपने ये slide deck को I'm speaking and I'm moving it and the face is coming here and there, and this is the final submission that we want from you. Okay? Any questions, any ideas? It's a super user-friendly tool that you can use. Loom is wonderful in the sense that it's going to give you options. You can customize your slide deck how you want it. I just started YEM then, right? And the whole pitch deck you see behind it the BMC. I've just broken it down. Okay. So it's up to you how you guys also want to present your particular BMC as part of the final pitch deck. But this was just to give you a kind of like a idea that this is what we are looking at. Okay. Any questions now? Or should I repeat what the task is?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you got the funding?
Ah, good question. Yes, I did. Yes, I did, Dua. I got many other fundings after that based on this. Hadi, because it is good. What do you mean it's good? You have to make it good for yourself. There is no such thing as a bad idea. If it's solving a problem, Hadi, then don't go into a self-doubt spiral. Okay? Overthinking, over-analysis leads to paralysis. So don't. Just speak to me. I'll give you a feedback, okay? Just send me a personal message. I'll let you know how you should feel about your uh idea. Anybody else?
I have a small question.
Go
Yep.
ahead,
So,
Rami.
what if we like have the main idea about what we're trying to solve, but we can't exactly narrow it down, या फिर एक छोटा सा उससे idea नहीं निकाला जा रहा है, या फिर some, a way that we can make it into a solution. So, could you get some guidance into how we can do that?
What's your idea? Do you want to share or do you want to PM share with me?
I'm okay with sharing. It's just like a bit for us, like vague sa hai. It's a main idea, but I'm trying to narrow it down. The thing is, I want to empower women in domestic settings, in the sense I personally have a lot of trauma from domestic violence and all of these things. So I want to empower young teens, women, like married women, and all any like any person in a domestic setting. I want to empower them in the sense get them resources, because Pakistan के अंदर ये बहुत मसला होता है कि
self-help resources.
Yes, and like any source of resources, like if they can't like get mental health, uske resources, so they can reach out for help. If they can't reach out for help, उसके लिए हम किसी तरह उनको provide कर दे resources. So it's a very vague and blunt sort of idea right now,
It's
but I'm
not
trying
at
to
all
narrow it
vague,
down.
Ramin, it's not at all vague. You just need inspiration. I'll give you
Yeah.
inspiration.
Thank
Okay?
you.
You just need inspiration. Okay? Let me show you something. You just need to feel the pain that you have felt yourself and put yourself into a position of somebody who is half kya 1/8 equipped than you are to solve that problem. And that is when you elevate your pain level for somebody else on areas where we're sensitive, which are taboo, unfortunately, in the country. You would be able to address things better. Okay, I'm just sharing with you some inspiration from across the globe. Look at this Spring Act. This is an organization that I also got to know when I moved here. And I see that, this is just a self-help, a self-guidance organization, right? Who are you taking action with? Is there a mentor-mentee relationship? Are people able to act on or come in a buddy system? This is a subscription based. Can somebody help out, right? Can you be somebody's Sophia? Can you be somebody's Ramin? Just look through different projects. Okay. How are they acting on? And it's all avatar based marketing. So you could do so much on those lines. Look at the companies that they're working with. Look at the impact partners. पाकिस्तान के अंदर हर किस्म का जो वायलेंस है, वेदर इट्स वर्क प्लेस फॉर एग्जाम्पल, लोगों को पता ही नहीं है। बहुत सारी यंग बच्चियां हैं यहाँ पे, बच्चे हैं यहाँ पे, but specifically when you are in a Pakistani setting where you're working as a girl in the corporate sector, or maybe you're just working in any particular sector, तो हमें एज गर्ल्स अपने राइट्स ही नहीं पता कि फेडरल ओम्बड्समैन क्या है, उसके रोल्स क्या हैं, what classifies as harassment, what kind of comments classify as harassments, what is it that organizations needs to know in terms of employee rights. राइट टू इंफॉर्मेशन एक इदारा है पाकिस्तान का, किसी को नहीं पता वो क्या करता है। राइट टू सर्विसेज एक इदारा है, किसी को नहीं पता कि वो क्या करता है। लेट मी टेल यू, RTI कमीशन, इट्स अ सरकारी इदारा दैट वर्क्स ऑन प्रोवाइडिंग पीपल के जो गवर्नमेंट नौकरियां आती हैं फॉर एग्जाम्पल, राइट, उसमें आपको पता है कोटा होता है, और उस कोटे के अंदर ये होता है कि इतना कोटा औरतों का है, इतना कोटा मर्दों का है। कोई भी हम में से, even if it's a boy, even if it's a girl, can go to the RTI commission and ask them, this was a tender that was issued, this was a government job that was issued, what was it that was the outcome of this, how was the evaluation done. We keep blaming the government, but again, how many of you knew about the RTI commission? Not many. How do I know about the RTI commission? I work with them to create awareness, and I had to read through, and I was baffled in my 30s just asking them कि यार ये हमारे मुल्क में होता था, हम तो हमेशा से ब्लेम करते थे कि क्या। तो देखो, इस तरह का भी अगर आप कोई अवेयरनेस प्लेटफॉर्म भी बनाते हो, राइट, just taking generally into violence as one stream, harassment as one stream, awareness about your rights as another stream, right, Rami? And just think about whether somebody is going to be the voice on it. Make sense? Yeah?
Yep, that's really helpful. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
yeah, find
Yep.
inspiration. Again, Hadi is the same thing. Find inspiration. Idea को good banana आपके ऊपर है. It doesn't have to be something superly unique. It just has to be something. It just has to be consistent. It just needs to be something that you keep on hammering into the minds of people. And the best way to do is social media. There's so many previous Yemers. Zainab, I think we can share some of them. Like, Jangir used to have like a, let me show you guys very quickly. I know we're running out of time, and then we have another session. But look at this. This is a previous one. और उसका ये mental well-being का एक initiative है, or this is his Instagram feed, and you can see it's just simple reminders, right? But he's creating that space. It's a community. And if you look at Talk with Fiza is another one of our Yemmers, right? And just like you, Ramin, look at Fiza just was really vocal about toxic relationship. She is raised by a single mother. Father died, I think, when she was really like a baby. And she's just creating voices around here. That's her space. And trust me, अगर अभी उसका business model उसके दिमाग में सही नहीं है ना, if she is not generating any money, with the right mentoring, she can actually be financially making it a viable model. So no idea is good or bad, just that you have to believe in it, find out a way, and just reach out to me if you guys are confused. Okay, so just giving you a quick rundown. The pitch deck sample Zainab is going to share with you. It's just a guiding. Don't go over and above other than these 8 slides. Please, please, please. Because otherwise फिर आप 3 मिनट की 3.5 मिनट की recording नहीं कर सकेंगे. Once you have the pitch deck finalized, go on Loom and record the 3-minute pitch for your idea. That 3-minute pitch is going to be played at the finale, where you would get live feedback from the judges. Okay, these are experts. I will pull them from here, there, everywhere, and they will sit down and they'll give you feedback as to where you can take your idea. Okay, so that is going to be our finale. The date we still have to align and set and share with you guys, but as soon as we do that, we're going to do it. Okay, so this would be your culmination where all your thought process, all your learning for YEM is going to come. Once you have the Loom links ready, you're going to share it with Zainab and Lena. We're going to then put it up in your digital profile. And you then leave it with me and have faith with me as to how I'll network on that for you guys. Okay. So that would be something that, you know, would be out there in the digital space for you. Obviously, you'll have your certificates sent across to you in a digital version at the finale as well. So yeah, so we're nearing the end now. But if you guys have any questions, if you're unsure about your ideas, it's not going to be done in a day. So just start throwing something on the BMC, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And then later in the upcoming week, we'll set a deadline for the BMC submission. The Loom can come in 2 days later. Okay. So there'll be 2 deadlines. So don't worry about it. Okay, so that was it from my side. If you guys want to reach out to me, Zainab, you have our numbers. Just feel free to reach out. And if you have any questions, any clarifications, again. Zainab?
Sorry, my internet went out for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear you. Could you repeat?
No, I'm just saying that that's it from my side. If they want to
Yeah.
reach out on anything, feel free to reach out and we'll be able to help you.
Yeah.
Group photograph, please. So those of you who can, open up your cameras. Remember, everything is going up on your profiles. Oh, Ayan's back. So group photograph time. Now Dua has to do the talking after this. I am done. All right, you guys, we're taking our hopefully the second last group photograph that we take for the YEM fellowship. But feel free, those of you who want to open up your cameras, this goes into your portfolios. Even if you change your display pictures to your own pictures, I think that would work. Okay, is that it? Okay, then 3, 2, 1. Let me take a picture. Hold on. All righty, that's one taken. All righty, you guys, thank you so much. We'll come to the community group for the feedback. I really want to hear from you guys.